Guys, this week was incredibly exciting. I can't wait to show you. We take the show on the road, so to speak. We go to see TCHEM in Greensboro, North Carolina. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. We are now at the Greensboro Airport. We got a rental car picked up, and we're headed to the Holiday Inn, Greensboro Airport. Bingo, bango. First stop after arriving in Greensboro was to check into the hotel, meet up with the team, meet a few new faces, and head to dinner.
How was it, Joe?
Fantastic. I'm not sure whether it's us skipping lunch or the fact that it is really good, but one way or the other, it tastes delicious. With the first day and evening in the books, we decided to head back to the hotel a little bit early. We had an early morning and a day full of travel. It's surprising how much travel will take out of you, how much it'll drain you. So we wanted to get a good night's rest in because we knew the next day was going to be chock full of action. All right, guys, it's 7:30, day one. Plan is we're going to step outside for some learning stations, break for lunch, and this afternoon come back inside to escape the heat a little bit for some keynote speakers and a panel discussion. Here we go.
Awning test right here for paint. You want to make sure that it's not going to bleach out the fabric.
Even a little harder when we're doing concrete.
I do the concrete next session. That way we block the board from last. Hang on a second. Let's try that again, man. Go slow. Keep it up. Keep it up. Pump it up.
Mask the house off, cut it in by hand with a brush. You got helpers do it. And when the customer looks outside and sees masking paper, they're like, oh wow, look, these guys are doing a good job. When there's a guy out there frantically scrubbing the house down, don't worry, ma'am, it's gonna come off. It just does, you know, I did that for years. But I didn't have the perspective from the customer, so you can't mess this up. So, I would hold your gun a little closer, about 6 inches away from the fence. You want to see runs going everywhere. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You don't have to worry about
Something like this. They're gonna get in your clothes. That's why we use the big fat tip. We're gonna stop with that tip. Yeah, that's what you want. The way it's rolling on there, nice and thick.
good wave. I like thinking of it a wave coming from the bottom.
Oh, you put it on the hinges. Oh, the hinges, dude.
And I generally like to let the stain soak in a little more before I wipe it off.
Guys, I think you'll agree with me. Kayla and Ben's presentation was really well done. After the presentation, time for lunch. Now, even though I'm 893 miles away, the guys back at the shop are still hard at it.
We're out here in northern Springfield today at an undisclosed location. We're here to install some mid-rail in an existing fence that we put up not too long ago. We're also going to be putting in some bottom tension wire to give it some extra strength and support. Stay tuned.
See, make a connection with people every once in a while. Connect with them, right? Power of touch right here. Then this woo, woo, and I do the woo. I do a woo. So when I do a woo, you need to do a woo back. Ready? Woo! So I get excited, right? Because I want my people to know that I'm excited about Monday. Why are we excited about Monday?
New week.
Greatest day of the week. We got all week long to kick butt and take names. We get to do it all week long.
I really like this format a lot. We did outdoor training in the morning, and then we brought the training indoor for the afternoon. After an afternoon full of training, we wrapped it up with a panel discussion. I was one of the speakers along with the other presenters and trainers at the event. Jake from the Under Pressure podcast did a great job emceeing, and check out the podcast because you might hear a familiar voice in the future. So first and foremost, I'm a huge believer that you need to do it yourself before you outsource it. I think a lot of people get sideways when they say, hey, I don't have time for it, but I do think I need it. I'm going to hire an agency that does this. Marketing's kind of the easy one, right? Just say, hey, this marketing agency, they work with other people that are kind of like me. They do well for them, so I'm just going to hire them, and I don't even have to deal with it. The danger there is you do not understand the metrics to judge them by. And with that, day one is a wrap. On to day two.
Inside on the second and third slots, following Trudy up, talking about some stuff that he's been working out, also dealing with some industry.
Day two was much the same as day one. We had some outdoor training followed by some indoor training. But during a break in between, we were able to film some really good videos. One of them you guys have already seen, featuring Caleb and Bam with Expert Professional Wood Care. We did another video with them, as well as a video with Matt Warner from Empire Netting and Fence. Stay tuned for those videos. You're not going to want to miss them. With the outdoor session being done, we moved indoors to a couple fabulous keynote speakers. I say that because I was one of them. I talked on social media marketing, becoming your own brand ambassador. I changed the title here and there, but the gist is the same, as how you can become your own brand ambassador through the use of live video over social media channels. Also, Caleb talks about the staining and sealing industry, the business 101 aspect of starting and running a profitable stain business. Start doing it now when you can afford to take half hour a week and work on you and work on your business before business starts slowing up, before you're stressed about, I got to get out and do this job because I got to make payroll. It's going to be real hard to take that half hour to do that video then. It's going to be a lot easier to do it now.
Upgraded to some pretty nice equipment because we want to get in and get out. We don't want to spill any stain in a backyard. All of our stuff's contained in the truck. But you can start with the most cheap Home Depot airless sprayer and get the same finished results. It's just like power wash equipment. Efficiency over time, you upgrade equipment.
And with that, the event was concluded. Had a great time. Thank you so much for the great team at TCHEM for being such gracious hosts and making it a really enjoyable event to come to. If you guys are on the East Coast and didn't have an opportunity to visit the TCHEM event, don't worry, we'll be back next year. Now, the TCHEM training event may be over, but we weren't ready to leave yet. We were about an hour away from my childhood home. So, the next day, we jumped in a rental, took a drive. We would always come out of there because they would have a marching band like out there at the high school somewhere. And I always thought that was so cool. Yeah, split level. So my bedroom was downstairs in the back corner, and there's a door that goes outside, so I used to have a door to the outside. That was pretty cool. But yeah, man, what a deal. So, and then the front there used to be just bushes, so we used to hide in the bushes. And so I had a friend that lived where that white mailbox is, named Stevie. Stevie. So I used to hide in the bushes, and we'd have Nerf wars like kind of back and forth. We'd try to launch like Nerf those arrows like over, and they'd end up in the middle of the road, you know. But man, that's something to see, you know, your childhood home 26 years later. I do remember the backyard being bigger. So my dad, when he mowed, he would mow like a racetrack in the backyard, and we would start up here on the driveway. and we just the fence wasn't there, the chain link fence wasn't there at the time. We would just rock it down the driveway, and then like have to like stay on this race course of a path. And so the people live next door. He was an engineer, and he used to always give my dad, you know, just not grief about it, but give my dad a hard time about it. He said, you know, it's much more efficient if you mow in straight lines and you mow in like a square. It gets smaller or whatever. And Dad's like, yeah, but the kids are having a blast, you know, just ripping through this on their BMX bikes. So the back steps or the side steps, I remember one time it iced really bad, and I was young, and I was going to help out. So my dad was salting the front steps. I went and got some hot water, and I melted the ice on the back steps, which of course made more ice on the back steps. And I slipped and it was like immediate karma, because I slipped and fell and, you know, busted my tailbone on it. And that was when I learned about, you know, hot water freezes faster than room temperature water. So it's a good lesson to learn when you're like 10 or something. Good to see it's still here, I guess. The mall on the back side, we'll go around there and see how close. You know, it's hard to see through that, but there's a berm over there that's...
So you'd walk through the woods and get up there that way?
Yeah. So the woods weren't that bad back in the day. There's a shadow box fence at the top of it. So we'd jump that shadow box fence, slide down the berm, and we'd be into the mall. For whatever reason, the mall security was not good with this. So they would pick you up if they caught you sliding down that berm. They'd pick you up and they'd drive you all the way around, and then they'd have to drop you off with an adult. So either your parents, or if your parents weren't home, one of your other buddies' parents or something, and then, you know, told that you have to walk around to come into the mall. You can't go over the berm for whatever reason. Yeah, see, that berm's not super tall. Of course, none of this was grown up. This was all just like, I guess the trees they must have just planted or something, but like all this undergrowth.
Definitely look planted, yeah.
Yeah, the undergrowth wasn't there. It was all just like mulch. So that's how your parents knew that you went to the mall, because you'd slide down on your butt and then you'd have mulch stains on your jeans or whatever, shorts or whatever. But yeah, then we'd scurry through here and go run into the mall. After we got back from Cary, the team at TCHEM was gracious enough to open up after hours, I might add, to host us in the live Q&A with you guys.
Yeah, so you guys can set up wherever you want. I got some chairs. Do you want chairs, or you want?
Don't mind.
Okay, yeah.
Don't mind.
Yeah.
Set up in here where this will put in the background, maybe. And then let's see. Next week there was a conflict somehow next week, and then
Final Friday.
We got Final Friday, and then I leave on vacation. So I don't know that the wife would like me doing a live Q&A while we're driving. We're driving down to Florida. So anyway, Fridays it is. But then after 4 Fridays, back to Saturdays, and we're off to the races.
Yeah, events are challenging. It's we get to the end of it, and I'm just smashed today. So we're just we're taking it easy. The guys still had to work and do deliveries today and all that, but
Sure.
you know, events are important.
All right, guys, just like that, the trip's over. Well, not quite over, but the fun part's over. Now we're just left to the traveling. Had a great time with the TCHEM folks. Really, really good people. We went by my old house in Cary. It's kind of surreal to see it 20 some odd years later. But yeah, just like that, it's over. I'm ready to go home and play with my kids. We'll see you when we get there. This week's code is expert. And with the trip being wrapped up, that would normally be where this video ends. The travel home typically isn't exciting, except for this time. So here's the plan. My flight goes out tonight. Well, back up. The original flight was delayed. And then it delayed 3 or 4 times. And then there was like a half-hour rainstorm, and Delta canceled most of the flights. My ticket got rebooked 9 o'clock tonight. Braden's ticket got rebooked 10 something tomorrow.
9:52 tomorrow morning.
9:52 tomorrow. And due to unforeseen circumstances and the fact that Delta canceled basically all their flights, hotels are not a thing right now. Like, there's nowhere for Braden to stay. So we've got him into the Delta Sky Lounge right now. which is it's a pretty good setup.
That's
Pretty good
nice. No
setup.
complaints.
Now, it closes at 10 though, so what do you do? After 10 o'clock, it turns into
Every man for himself.
every man for himself. And so Braden's going to brave the airport and see what happens. We looked into like driving, but driving is about a 10-hour drive, and there's no rental cars because Delta canceled most every flight.
I don't think I want to walk either.
No, you would be home sometime next week. So anyway, that's the plan. Theoretically, I get on a plane in about 40 minutes.
Yes, please.
We'll see.
Thank you.
So, yeah, stay tuned for more travel vlog, I guess. Wish Braden luck.
See what happens. Here we go. Bye, Scott. Okay, I was able to get some snacks right before the place closed. That would have sucked if I didn't. I literally walked in right as she closed the door, but we did it and now we're good. It's currently 12:13 p.m. I'm posted up in this little corner. Just chilling. So, I'll probably get up and move around a little bit, but for right now, I'm just gonna try to sleep for a little bit. It's currently 5 a.m. thereabouts, not even quite 5 a.m. And I'm gonna move to my concourse. There's a lot of people where I was sleeping, so moving there, and I'll probably just stay there till my flight leaves in like 5 hours. So see you guys later.
Now, all's well that ends well. Braden ended up making it back safely. The baggage is a different story. It showed up on a different day. But we got Braden back. And thus, you saw another great episode of the Week in the Life series. Huge shout out to TCHEM. I've said it before. I'll say it again. They were very gracious. They were great to work with. Thank you so much for having me out. Guys, until next week, I'm Joe Everest, the fence expert, reminding you that good fences make good neighbors.